Hey everyone, what's up? It's Julian from Furry Club, and I just thought I'd do a quick little what just happened at Wrestlemania. You ready? Good. In case you didn't notice, WrestleMania 35 was on tonight. Started at midnight, ended at 5:30 in the morning in the UK, so there's probably a few bleary heads in the UK, but I'm still up now, so I thought I'll pop out a quick what just happened video. And what just happened? Well, the show was from the MetLife Stadium, the world's most overpriced stadium. $1.5 billion that cost you. It's all very well and good unless you're in the rain. The show kicked off with their host, Alexa Bliss. She didn't see too much of her, to be honest. She did the intro for it and said the customary "Welcome to WrestleMania," and then she said, I can make a WrestleMania moment happen anytime I want. And she did. She clicked her fingers and out came fucking Hulk Hogan. He said a few stuff, and then Paul Heyman's plodded down to the ring and said his match with Brock Lesnar's match with Seth Rollins will start straight away. This is a great way to start the show, and the match happened. It started off with Brock kicking the shit out of Seth, but then Seth turned things around with a good punch to the balls and then a few curb stomps, and that was it. Seth was the champion, and Brock went away, probably not to be seen again until he fights in the UFC and gets knocked out, and then he'll come back. Then we had AJ against Randy Orton. Pretty good match. AJ won, this is always good. Quite clever finish. Good match. We had the women's tag team match, fatal 4-way tag team match. The Iconics won, the Australian Bimbos won. It's quite good. It's interesting to have them win for a change. It's good. We also had a fatal 4-way tag match, which the Usos won. It was a good match. The highlight of it was Cesaro just spinning Ricochet around for about a minute or so whilst Sheamus hit some people. It was fucking brilliant. Probably the main match of the night was Daniel Bryan against Kofi Kingston for the SmackDown title. This was a really good match. It started off well and really got going towards the end. It went back and forth, so a few false finishes, but eventually Kofi got the momentum. The crowd could feel that what they wanted was going to happen, and then he won the match. It was a great moment. Everyone was happy, and when he was celebrating, there's almost a little bit of a tear in my eye. Almost. I did see a few grown men cry. I was in Barrett's Bar in Northampton. It's a good night. Roman Reigns came back and beat Drew McIntyre. I don't really see what they're doing with Drew McIntyre. He was meant to be like having a big push, but they wasted him pairing up with Baron Corbin. And then Roman came back and beat him. It was like, eh. Kurt Angle had his retirement match. It's good. Some people complain that he lost to Baron Corbin, but that's the way it is. When a wrestler retires, they tend to lose their last match. Kurt Angle's had a great career. Now rest up, Kurt. Don't do any more wrestling. You're a bit old and dilapidated. We want you to look after yourself, yeah? Elias came out and did a bit of singing to himself, and then out came John Cena, but not the John Cena we've known for a while, the old Thugonomics John Cena. For those who haven't seen it, imagine a 40-year-old white man pretending to be a young black man. He looks like a twat, to be honest, but I suppose it's a change for him, so it could be interesting to see what he does with it in the future. Then we got to the main event of the night. That was the women's triple threat match for both the titles. You had Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey. Now, some people bitch saying it wasn't a good match. I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed it. There was plenty of good spots and some good action, but let's be honest, the ending was fucked. Firstly, they tried to put Charlotte through a table. It didn't break because she went in too long. She just bounced out the ring. And then there was this like roll up, and Becky rolled up Wanda, and Wanda's shoulders were clearly off the ground twice in 3 seconds, but the referee still counted to 3, which made it a bit odd and a kind of a strange ending to the match. Felt a bit abrupt. And then Becky had a moment, celebrated, and then titles came up, and that was it. It was all a bit kind of abrupt for what should have been at the crowning moment of the show. It was like a bit of a looked like a botched ending. I don't know if it was deliberate or a complete botch, but it wasn't the best ending. The match was reasonably good, but the ending, nah, that kind of fucked it a bit. Still, overall, it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Even though it was for 5.5 hours, it didn't drag on. And 7 hours if you included the pre-show. Apparently, Braun Strowman, remember him? He won the Battle Royal, which is nice for him. He really should have been main eventing probably WrestleMania at some point instead of being at the pre-show, but hey. Kofi Kingston winning was probably the highlight of the show. You knew him and Daniel Bryan put out a good match. The women's main event, I still think it should have been a one-on-one with Becky and Wanda. The match, it was a good match, but the ending was crapless. So, yeah, still a good show. That's what happened. I probably should go to sleep now. Remember to subscribe to Furry Club. Bye, everybody.